We welcome everyone to this October 20th, 2025 meeting of the Corsicana CISD Board of Trustees. This is a regular board meeting of all items that will be discussed and be duly posted. While this is a meeting in public, it's not a meeting of the public. The board's role is to set goals, approve personal budgets, make policy, and provide oversight. We are not here to manage or solve individual problems. Management is responsible of the superintendent. As a board, we believe that we must educate every child, provide every child the greatest opportunity to learn, maintain a safe and secure environment, mentally, physically, emotionally, and academically. These are core values. We appreciate your interest in the students at CISD. Dr. Brown?
So we're going to be honored guest of the Corsicana Middle School. We have with us some outstanding students that are going to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance. So we've got Jeanette Tariq, DeCarrion Hawkins, Kate Lassiter, Easton Solis, and then I've heard, do you go by Addie or Adeline? Addie Ave.Corsicana.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you.
Lord, we thank you for this day of learning, this day of rest for our students and some rest for our teachers. We thank you for the board that's here for leadership tonight. We thank you for the district leaders that are in the room and the community members that are interested enough to be here, Lord. We ask that you give us the strength to guide our thoughts in the best interest of the babies of this district and everything we do here tonight, Lord. It's in your Son, Jesus Christ's name we pray.
Thank you. We had a homecoming, our first annual homecoming parade a few weeks ago. We had a great turnout. We are excited about that. We're ready for next year already. It'll be bigger and better. So thankful for everybody who put that on for us. Boo on the Block. We will be there on Thursday starting at 3:30 to 5:30. We'll have a lot of candy to give out to the kids that will be asking for that. We had a win on Friday night with football, so congratulations to Tiger football. Our Tiger band went to competition in Waco, and they will be advancing on November the 1st to Pflugerville, so we're excited for them as well. And then also early voting started today, and it will end on October 31st, and election day is on Tuesday, November the 4th.
Thank you, Stephanie. The College Scholarship Quarter today.
Well, thank y'all for having us. Today I've got Hagen Barlow with us. Hagen is our newest trust officer at Community National. We hired him back in March, so we're certainly appreciative of him and everything he's done for the department. Jared would be here, but he's actually out helping with the bond right now, so good reason to miss. But if everyone will join me on page 1, I'll jump right into it. On page 1, we have an overview of your portfolio's asset allocation. You can see that your cash equivalent position ended the month of September just under $700,000, about 3.05% of your total market value. Right now, your money market is earning 4.09%, so that's a really good spot to be in. Your equity position ended September at $12.76 million, just under 56% of your portfolio. And then those last two line items, your fixed and mutual funds, The totality of that is really your fixed income portfolio, because that mutual fund line, that's your Vanguard high income bond fund. So that totals 40.99%, or the remainder of your portfolio. You can see your grand total down there sits at $22,817,000 to end the month of September. So that's phenomenal. On page 2, this page does a really good job showing your year-to-date performance, and it's also kind of a comparative view as well. You see you kind of have a column over to the left, and that's really your December 31st, 2024. Well, that's close of day, so it's really where you started the year, right? And then you have the column on the right, and that's where you finish the third quarter. I want to point out the amount of appreciation that you've seen over the last 9 months. To start the year, you were at $21.16 million, and to finish the third quarter, you were at $22.88 million. So that's about $1.72 million in growth over the last 9 months. More importantly than that, that is including the $550,000 that we had paid out in scholarships during that time. Of course, the number that everybody wants to know is down there at the bottom middle of the page. Your total account return was 10.72%, and that's versus the composite index return of 9.18%. So really strong outperformance there. On page 3, you can see where that outperformance comes from. On the large cap position, you see you returned in large cap 15.45% versus the S&P 500, which only returned 14.83%. Again, your large cap position holds about 45% of your entire portfolio. So that's a big makeup of that number, but actually a majority of your outperformance came from your fixed taxable securities, where you returned 6.05% compared to a 335, and that's 41% of your portfolio. So that's phenomenal outperformance in fixed income. You really don't see a moat that wide very often. Actually, all these numbers look pretty good, maybe with the exception of mid cap. It looks like we outperformed in 6 of the 7 different asset classes. So very happy to see that. On page 4 is just like page 2, except instead of giving a comparison view for year to date, now we're doing a 5-year comparison. So that left column goes all the way back to September 30th of 2020. And you can see the portfolio at that time was just $16.76 million. Now it's grown to $22.88 million. So we're really happy to see that. That's more than $6 million in appreciation. And then the same viewpoint, in that time we had paid out about $2.24 million. So your 5-year time-weighted annualized return is an 8.48 during that period, and that's versus the composite index return of a 6.86. That is really, really good. We're very happy with that. On page 5, that's more just longer-term performance information, so please feel free to look at that. But I did just want to give you all a little bit of information, something we don't go over too often because we don't really get into the weeds of it. But your top performers over the last 5 years were actually NVIDIA, Google, Quanta Services, which is an energy infrastructure provider, and Valero Energy. And then 2 of your worst performers were Target and Nike, which I couldn't believe. I thought my wife kept Target stock doing pretty well. And then pages 6 through 13, this is going to list your portfolio's holdings. Please review that as you see fit. I know it takes a little bit of time. So I'm just going to jump ahead to pages 12 and 13 before I hand this over to Hagen. On pages 12 and 13, you can see your CD portfolio. You'll notice a few of the names seem to be a little bit longer than others. It ends in that INV.income, right? So that's the income that we had invested, that we had spoken about at, I think it was 2 meetings ago. But I do want to point out the rates that we ended up getting there. You can see on that first bond, we got a 4.05%, 4.05% on the second bond as well. And then down there on page 13, we actually got a 4.20, which was really, really solid. And of course, the Fed meets next week, and they're expected to cut interest rates. So not only is this currently outperforming your money market position, but it's expected to do even better than that. You'll probably end up with a gain on that. So a really good decision there to invest that accumulated income. But with that being said, I have Hagen here today, and I want Hagen to kind of talk about the oil and gas portfolio, because I know that's where a majority of the income comes for the scholarship distribution, so I'll let him take it from here.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present these results to you. So overall, for trailing 12 months, the fund has produced $223,000 of income just from its oil and gas holdings. Year to date is about $150,000. On the charts in front of you, you'll see the monthly mineral income of October 24 to September of 25. It is not consistent. It is very much up and down, and if you look below, it is the average price per barrel over that same time period. And what I was hoping to find in the data was a correlation between the price of oil and the amount of income you receive. There is no correlation between the price of oil and the amount of income you receive. America is to the point in its energy independence to where we act similarly to OPEC. We produce when we want to produce. We do not produce because we have to produce. And that'll go into the oil market overview. Last thing I want to say is oil did crash in October. So ending September to October, it's down to $57.50, which is roughly a 10% drop since the end of September. However, as you can see, oil dropping to 60 or less per barrel. That coincides with roughly the highest month that you received so far this year in income. So in terms of American production, as oil goes down because of fracking, we can still produce at a higher rate. Overall, global oil demand rebounded in Q3 of 2025, rising by 750,000 barrels per day year over year. Oil supply surged, with OPEC leading a 760,000 barrels per day monthly increase in September, pushing total output to 108 million barrels per day globally. Refinery activity dips seasonally, but is expected to recover modestly through 2026, which you can see in the results of July, August, and September. We went from 23,000 in income in July down to 10,000 in August. That is expected for the end of Q3. And of course, we expect a strong rebound in Q4 and following. If you turn to the next page, just a couple of highlights to overview what we have. The big thing is the price stability. Despite geopolitical risk, sanctions, Brent crude prices have hovered around $64 a barrel in September, with volatility at historic lows. Again, this report is to the end of September. A little bit of volatility did sneak back into the commodities market for October. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, the next thing is construction method per bond.
So we need to approve our delivery method of construction for the 2025 bond. If it passes, then we will already know what our delivery method is going to be. We've talked about this a couple of times. There's 3 different types, but we would like to go with the construction manager at risk, or CMAR. What that means, that's the most common type of delivery method. The contractor is selected anytime prior to bidding. The contractor will help solicit subcontractors and run the financials, but we will be able to take local bids if the local contractors want to bid. We'll have that opportunity as well, or subcontractors. We would have one main point of contact. If something goes wrong, we can hold them with more liability. During construction, there's one check to the contractor per month, and then they are responsible for paying the subcontractors. So I'm just asking for approval for us to move forward on picking a type of construction.
I'll make a motion to approve the construction manager at risk as a delivery method for the 2025 November bond.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the delivery method construction manager at risk, CMAR, for the 2025 November bond. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those say opposed, nay. No. The motion passes. Move to approve the delivery method construction manager at risk, CMAR, for the 2025 November bond. All right, the next thing is the RDS PT update and recent vehicle purchase by Dr. Bowman.
All right. President Farmer, Ms. Howell, distinguished members of the board, thank you for letting us come and present a little bit about the RDSPD tonight. So this is going to be kind of a quick little overview, maybe. I went crazy. Yeah, go back. So this is just kind of a quick overview because the RDSPD, so the Regional Day School Program for the Deaf, is something that we house in Corsicana ISD, and we're the fiscal agent for. But it's kind of odd in that it's kind of a school within a school. We're actually only one acting member of the Corsicana Regional Day School Program for the Deaf because we service 46 school districts. We are definitely one of the larger RDSPDs in the state, and we kind of continue to grow. I'm going to move to the front really quickly just so that you can kind of see an outline. The map that you're looking at is, it's from like the school district finder, like within TEA, but we can't zoom in. If we zoom in too much, you can't see all our districts, and if we zoom out to see all our districts, you can't read districts anymore. So I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of a where we go. Okay, so really from one point in our region that we service, and this is 5 school districts. They get to decide. They decide who they come to. So it's from one point to the other point. It's almost 3.5 hours if one person drove from one to the other. So we actually have 4 itineraries that service all of them. So if so if you find us here in Corsicana. So we're kind of the hub there, but we go as far over as Blum, we come all the way down to Penelope, Mount Calm, we have Connolly and La Vega, which is actually something to be said because Waco has an RDSPD, but they come to us. So we hook back over, we have Mahia, Roseback, we hook down, we kind of swing a little bit because we have Buffalo and Dew, we hook back up to come into Fairfield, we go all the way down to where we have Athens. We swing back around, kind of down that 175 corridor where we have Malakoff, Eustis, Kim, Scurry Rosser. We have all the way back up to Ferris. And then we hook back over to NS and then run back down 45. So we have a lot of districts, which means we have a lot of kiddos, which is awesome. It's something to be said in the program. It's something that's been built and it's doing really well. So I want to give you, like I said, a little bit of an update. We service 65 students in a direct method, which means it's 1-to-1. We have teachers that go see those kiddos. So every day, like Corsicana, ISD has teachers that go out into other school districts to see those kiddos. Consult is more of like a supportive thing for the teacher themselves so that they know how to serve and teach students that are deaf and hard of hearing. And we have 51 of those that are in consult. And then 14 of those students are actually bused to us. And we have them, so we're parent advisors as well, so we see them in the homes. When they turn 3, they start coming to us. So yes, we have little babies from Athens that come every day to Corsicana so that they can have the instruction that they need, which is a big deal, right? And that sets their life. It changes things so that they can have the instruction, the support for the family that they need to have. So that's just kind of our numbers. A couple quick updates just in kind of RDSPD happenings is that we did see a financial increase. So every student, now it has to be 45 minutes, 1 time a week at least of direct services, but every student is now generating about $6,925,000, which is something we kind of saw in the past was a little bit lower than that, but they have upped it. Our hope is that, because they're still in kind of talks about it, is that we would actually get even more. But we work off of a shortfall for Corsicana. So what it means is that whatever our entitlements don't cover is what we bill out to those 46 school districts. One of the benefits of that is that Corsicana ISD actually does not pay. So while we are one of the biggest districts in the RDSPD, what we basically say is that we accrue enough cost, whether it be the lights or the toilet paper in the bathroom, or hey, we're bouncing kids back and forth and we're doing it with our transport, that we have extra costs because we are acting as the fiscal agent and they're coming to us, so we actually don't pay. We're able to keep that up. We do have a strong fund balance. Before our last purchase, which I'm going to tell you about in just a second, it's kind of right under $200,000, which is the program itself runs kind of about $750,000, $800,000 every year. So with the entitlements, we only bill out what's necessary, but we do keep a strong fund balance to make sure if something happened, kind of like what I'm about to tell you about, we have the funds to make sure that we can do it. So we do have a strong fund balance. We did recently purchase 2 Corollas. So while it might look like, hey, Corsicana got some new cars, technically it's the Regional Day School Program for the Deaf. And the reason we did that is because we were using CISD's white fleet. And that constricts what CISD can do, whether it be like, hey, we need to take some kiddos and get them to a UIL event. It's a small group. We just need Expedition. Well, Expedition's out on a route for the regional day school. They're in Trinidad. So, wait a second, we need it over here. Another reason is that, like I said, we have little babies that don't need to be picked up at 5:30 in the morning. They need to be able to sleep and come straight into campus. And so we're able to do that. We have one-to-one meeting places with our member districts so that they can come in. So that was kind of the thoughts behind getting those two vehicles. Like I said, making sure we were being a good steward of those funds into what the need was for their RDSPD, and to make sure that we weren't taking all of CISD's cars at the same time. So we are also able to keep our billing incredibly low. We are one of the lowest in the state, which is another reason why a lot of districts like to come to us, right? We bill out for exactly what we need. We're very transparent about it, and we're able to keep those funds low. So again, always making sure we have a good fund balance to make sure that we have what we need. But like I said, it is one of the lowest in the state. It's something that we do as Deaf Ed directors, is we keep it's actually a spreadsheet that is live updated all the time of our tuition. And we are consistently very, very low. So that's awesome. And then last, but certainly not least, is that our sign classes have started. So it is fall, and so free sign language classes are here on Tuesdays. And it's a great thing for families, but really the real reason why we do it, right? Everybody likes to learn it, it's cool, but the real reason why we do it is because it grows inclusivity within our community for our kids that are coming here. So if I have a kiddo that's just, hey, I like sign language, and I took a class with my mom at the admin building, but I'm in 3rd grade, but so is my friend that's bused here from Ferris, and now we can talk, and so it grows that environment and that culture. So that's probably, it's not probably, it's really why we do it. But it's also really fun to say, hey, come learn sign language. So that's kind of the biggest updates right now. Of course, we have management board meetings every year. We have them twice a year. Ms. Howe is up to date on all of those things as one of the superintendents that's acting within that management board. But we always like to give you guys an update too, especially if there's been a big purchase. And so that way you have a good understanding of kind of what's happened. So, any questions at all?
What was the cost for the two?
It was right, kind of right at 48,000 because we got two.
Anything else?
You all right?
Thank you, Dr. Bowler. Next thing is the CISD High School, the Flexibility School Day Program.
Ms. Howe, Mr. Farmer, board members, in board book you have our optional flexible school day program application. This is how we fund night school. The application is the same as last year's, which TEA approved last October. We need to renew it yearly, and you guys have to approve it. This program allows students to combine hours for multiple days so that the school can receive funding for a full-time student. So basically, they come in on a Tuesday night, and then they come in on a Wednesday night. That equals 1 day, and we get 1 day's funding for that student. So last year, we received $25,000. This is money that the district has never received in this way. So try to do, it depends on how attendance is, but I think they average 25, 30 kids there a night. So any questions? It's going to be around like 35 or 40 maybe active students. I think each night they average 25 to 30, something like that.
Kind of depends on their work schedule too, and what nights they're there.
Any other questions?
I move to approve the optional flexible school day program application as presented.
We have a motion second to approve the optional flexible school day program application presented. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Move to approve the optional flexible day school day program application as presented. Thank you.
Thank you.
consent agenda? We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion passed. The motion passed. The consent agenda is approved. We will now adjourn into a closed session permitted by Texas Government Code Section 551-01. Thank you, Warren.